Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So today's video is just a short, quick channel update, kind of a channel announcement, and this is something that's been in the works. And a lot of you guys have actually been requesting something like this, and I was keeping it just till I got through a lot of projects. As you guys know, I completed my book and I published it. I got some paperback, some paperback copies yesterday, and man, they look really cool. I was so excited because it's kind of been like a vision that I've had for a long time. So really excited, and thanks to those of you who actually got yourselves a copy of the book. I don't know. I think I might have to do some revision or whatever it is, but it's nice to be able to at least put some ideas down on paper and then maybe build from there. But that's not necessarily the point of this video. The point of the video is that I wanted to quickly announce that I'm going to be starting a podcast very soon. In fact, it's something that I've actually had in mind for about 4 months now. But because of, like I said, the nature of the channel, the nature of Division Two's content progress, and working on my own personal projects, working on a second channel as well. And I do have a second channel, in case you were wondering, shameless plug. It's the name is Video Game Fight School. If you want to help a brother out, you can hit it up and hit the subscribe button. Some of you already did so from my last video. I do appreciate you guys so much. You didn't have to, but you did anyways. And this podcast that I'm actually trying to work on, I don't really know what I'm doing. So it's going to be an interesting journey, I think. But I kind of have an idea as to, why I want to do a podcast, because I feel like with a podcast, I'm able to discuss many topics and put that in one video, kind of like a video dump or an audio dump, if you call it that way now, not dump in a terrible way, but curate all that content that I feel like might be interesting to a lot of people on the Gamey Daddy community, and let you guys know what I think about things that are happening in the industry. Give you some updates regarding some projects I may be working on the content aspect. I think by nature and my DNA is content creation. And so I really enjoyed the audio process, the video process, the writing process as well. And so I wanted to see if we can bring all that to long form format and bring it to the community. Now, I don't even know what this schedule is going to look like with everything I have on my plate. And there's going to have to be a lot of bribing the kids to quiet down so that dad can, do, maybe 45 minutes or an hour long topical discussion on different things. But I'm hoping that this is something that, you guys can get behind, because initially when it kicks off, it's going to really need a lot of support, because that kind of content is going to be long form. So I'm not expecting that it's something that you actually, engage on in just your, casual time. I think it's more like I'm driving down to work, or I'm driving, somewhere. And so this would be time to actually listen to this. Now, it's going to primarily be on YouTube. That's where I'm going to start. And then whatever episodes I come up with, I'm probably going to try to put it on an audio platform. I think you can do submissions for Google Podcasts and Apple Podcasts. And so I need to go quickly, hunker down and learn, what I need to do in terms of the submissions. But before all that is in play, you guys here on the channel are going to be getting, that kind of content and all that good stuff. So that's kind of the plan. This is something that you guys have also rallied around and also commented about and said, hey, why don't you go ahead and start a podcast? And note please that podcast is probably going to be something that I'm doing maybe once every 2 weeks at first to start out, and then I'm gonna move on. If it does well, if you guys are behind it, then we're gonna continue to push the content. Maybe we'll do it for like a 90-day window. And I do have a good friend of mine that's actually suggested some equipment for me as well to use for the podcast, and so that's something too where I eventually intend on investing in down the road. But I wanted to go ahead and start out the series, do some testing, and then invest in some of that equipment to make the podcast much more natural, make the podcast have more quality and a better production all in all. Right now, this is just going to be, something where I'm just kind of like just, talking about different aspects, maybe putting up some screenshots, putting up articles, discussing different things. I don't know if I'm going to do it as a video podcast, or if I want to do just an audio podcast. There are just so many layers that I have to wade through in all of this. But why I'm making this video is just to, ask for your support. And all you have to do is click the video and, watch it. You can watch it in your drive time, in your downtime. Just listen. Don't watch in your drive time, please. Listen to it while maybe you're taking a trip and, you're I don't know. I wouldn't want anybody to be listening to me talking about video game stuff while they're working out, but you never know. Everybody has a way that, they engage with content. And so I feel like you guys, know where it will best suit you. So maybe we'll start out with like the 30-minute window and see what happens. I may run out of things to talk about, but I'll probably, pull together different ideas, different happenings, and maybe put it together so that you guys can actually get that kind of stuff. So I hope I hope that provides some clarity especially for those of you who've been asking, and those of you who've been saying, hey, can you do a podcast? Because this is just easier for you guys. It provides a little bit of convenience. I know some of you just want to get all that feed on your maybe 30-45 minute drive to work or commute around town. Some people that listen to this channel probably work jobs that, have them do a lot of commuting. And you might be like, what kind of job would you be doing? Like, one of my, I have a family member who worked a job where he had to travel around a county. And so he was constantly always driving about 4 hours of his work day, because every time he got to his location, he only spent a minimum of about 30 minutes, and he would go to like maybe 4 or 5 locations in a day. And so his drive time was actually very much. So I feel like that might be something that will serve you guys. And, I even have a family member that drives over an hour to work every day. So anyways, that's one of the really cool things I feel is coming up. Hopefully I'm able to, push through this in a half time. And, if I don't have the time, I'll just let you guys know what's going down. But I think it's something that is exciting for me anyways. And that's pretty much all I have for today. Thank you very much for your time and audience. And I guess I'll see you guys in my next video, maybe in the first podcast episode. Peace.